Welcome back to Leeds Lately, everyone, for the first live watch-along of the season. Leeds United versus Everton at Elland Road. A massive, massive game because these are the sorts of games, even though Everton are a fairly strong opposition, these are the sorts of games that you've got to be winning if you want to stay up in the Premier League. So I'm scared. I will say it. I am scared. We've got a very physical side, but where our goals are going to come from, I don't know. And I'm just hoping that we can do enough to kind of put a stop to what they want to do as well. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, of course, to all of our Leeds Lately members. We've got Justin O'Dell, we've got John Garside, we've got Chewy, we've got Robert Wetzel as well. Hopefully I haven't missed any members. Doesn't look like I have. And welcome, of course, to all of our non-members as well. Goz is here, Karen Curtin is here, Penny Lane, etc. The Ruggy, Clive T. The usual suspects are all here and in the chat as well. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Chaz, as well. Welcome, everybody who is joining us. Leeds United, of course, kicking off in 9 minutes' time. And I am very nervous. What's the feeling here, everybody? Are we nervous? Are we excited? What's the general feeling that everybody's getting here? Let me just raise my chair slightly. There we go. It wouldn't do it. Now it has. Perfect. Goz is excited and nervous, which I'm assuming means excited and nervous. But yeah, me too. I'm scared about this one. I don't know if what Sunderland did put more pressure on us or kind of encouraged us to the fact that it could be done against these established Premier League teams with what they did to their demolition of West Ham. So let's try and take the kind of the positive from it. It's Trev as well saying score prediction, please. I think it might be a score draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1. Hopefully Leeds win, but I think it might be a 1-1. But yeah, we will go through the lineups very, very soon. In fact, let's go through them now. We've got 30 people in here. So, am I the only one who can't be? I can't believe Russell saying that we have Byram covering 2 full-back positions in our opening game. That really shouldn't be happening. Yeah, but I do think this is quite symptomatic, Russell, of Premier League football in general and the transfer window in general, because when you actually look at Everton's bench, they've got 2 keepers on the bench and they've got a number of youngsters as well, because they've got a very thin squad. The first team's good, but after that they haven't got a great amount of kind of backup. So I think that's just symptomatic of where we are. I think we'll get a full back in and we'll get some other cover on the bench and stuff, and we should be all right. But in terms of our starting lineup, we actually look pretty good in terms of especially our defence and midfield. So Lucas Perry, of course, makes his full debut for Leeds United, signed from Lyon in the summer. A goalkeeper who got to the quarter-final of the Europa League, somebody who's a well-established and strong goalkeeper. Lucas Perry in goal. Jayden Bogle is fit enough to start, which is a huge bonus for Leeds United. A huge bonus. We all know how good he was last season as an attacking fullback and an attacking threat. Then you've got Joe Rodon and Pascal Strauch in the centre of defence, with Goodmanson, another signing this time from Lille, over on the left back side, who we know what he can do in terms of his attacking threat. That's one of the blokes from All Leeds TV are there on the telly. Then you've got Ampadu, Stack and Tanaka in that midfield. And of course, up front, James, Piru and Nyonto as well. So hopefully they provide enough attacking threat for us in this game. The only thing is, really, none of them are that creative on their own. So I worry a little bit about kind of a lot of times picking the ball up and just getting tackled when we're trying to play the ball through. So that's where I kind of look at it for that. When you have a look at the Everton team, Well, do you know what? I think I might have added... Oh, there you go. There's Everton. I must have added 3 teams. Let me see if I can correct that, but you can have a look there. Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Garner, and for some reason it's not updated and it still says Wilson Isidore is on their team. That's why. Michael Keane is the other one there. There we go. Perfect. I don't know where this extra team has come from. Yeah, for some reason there's an extra team here. So I don't know how I can get rid of that, but for now I'll just have to press it twice to get it through back to the Leeds lineup. Yeah, don't know why. Oh well, for now I think we're all right. And that should have updated to say Keane now as well, but it hasn't. Is that changed now to say Keane? It has. They're talking about Dan James struggling in the Premier League to score goals. He's only ever scored 4 goals in the Premier League, apparently. But he scored 12 and 13 in his last couple of seasons. But what I will say is Dan James has always played as a striker when he played in the Premier League for Leeds. And that is not his position. So he did struggle at times there, and I'll admit that. But as a winger, I think he provides a great threat. DCL, yeah, as Mark says to John, Dominic Calvert-Lewin only just got here, so he's not going to be starting yet, or even in the squad, until he's a bit more settled in and kind of knows how we play. It's a lot of pressure in it as well to come in against your old club straight away. So Joel Peru, and then you've got Mecha on the bench as well, so plenty of strike force for this game, hopefully. Players are heading out onto the pitch now. I am scared, and that is what I will say. I am scared. Come on, Leeds. By the way, we are very, very close to 10,000 subscribers. What we on? We need 24 subscribers. 24 subscribers for 10k. So if you've your friend's uncle's girlfriend's dog wants to subscribe, then that'd massively help me out. Danny Talks Leeds saying 1-1 is his prediction. John Garside, member for 19 months. Thank you so much, John, for your continued support as a Leeds Late member. If you want to become a member, hit that join button down below. They're going through the teams again now. So... Oh, is it completely delete? It's completely deleted my Leeds lineup. So that's good. The last time I had this on there was from, what you call it? Let's change this then, because it was there before and now it's not, so that's good. That's really annoying because I'm not... Oh, God. You'll have to give me a second to sort out the lineup. Member for 18 months as well from Chewy. Thank you so much for your continued support, mate. I don't understand why it's done this because it literally... We went through it and everyone saw it. We're a couple of minutes out from kickoff though. So, well, maybe only about a minute. So let me try and get the lineups done. Marching onto there together, rings out around Elland Road. Yeah, Mikolenko's out as well, by the way, so they are having to play James Garner as a left back. Apparently, Valencia are interested in Pascal Struijk, by the way. Ampadu are in the midfield alongside Stack, who is number 18. And then you've got 22 is our fantastic Tanaka. Then 7 is Daniel James. 29 is Wilfred Nyonto. And then Joel Piru at that position there. There we go. Everyone should see it. Justin O'Dell as well, member for 16 months. Thank you for your continued support as well, mate, of course. Woo! There is going to be a minute's silence, of course, for Diogo Jota and Andre Silva as well. The minute silence is just about to start. Yeah, he's 6'6", White Swan. That must have been the fastest minute I've ever experienced. Leeds players come in for a huddle now. Some new faces in there, mingled with some old. Of course, Lucas Perry, Goodmanson, Stack. Oh, I've put Ganono, not Nonto. There we go. Well, we're about to kick off here. Let me just make sure that I've got the timer ready. Everton are going to be the ones taking the kick, by the way. We are underway then at Elland Road. Long ball forward here, headed up by Ethan Ampadu. Tackle there by Dan James on Illiman and Dye. Piru and Stack try and get the ball away there, but here comes Idrissa Gay. Good tackling by Tanaka and Piru there, trying to force Everton back. Some very kind of very strong and physical defending in the midfield already from Leeds here. Statement of intent. Stack is limping already. That's not good. But of course, as well, White Swan says, it's on the little ticker at the bottom. It's just about to come up. Don't put goals in the chat until I have reacted, because I won't have seen them. You might be slightly ahead of me as I'm watching on Now TV, and you might be watching on your actual Skybox, etc. Darlow's on the bench. It's pushing the back there, surely, but it's going to be an Everton throw-in because it's not been given by the referee. James Garner then to take the throw-in, as he plays as a makeshift left back today, but I imagine he might tuck into the midfield at some point. Here's Pickford. Plays the ball out. Tarkowski with a long ball forward. Headed away that by Pascal Strauch and now picked up by Ethan Ampadu. Here's Nonto. Now Goodmanson. Goodmanson does well there to get away from Alcaraz. Good little bit of play there from Leeds. Nonto into Stack, and Stack can drive forward with the ball. Still going here, Stack. Still going here, Stack, and now gives the ball out wide to Nonto on the left-hand side. Nonto, corner of the box, does lose out there, though, and Alcaraz can pick it up, give it to O'Brien, and then Nonto charges down O'Brien. It's going to be an Everton goal kick, but Leeds were able then to have a little bit of joy in passing football, getting down that left-hand side. Nice one, Tom. It's always good to see them lose. Here's Keane. Cleared away by Pickford. Rodon wins the header, and now Ampadu does head it back to Garner, but picked up by Rodon again. And now Dan James into Bogle, back to Tanaka. Tanaka tries to play the ball down the line to Dan James. Poor pass in the end. Maybe a little bit of nerves creeping in. I'm nervous, so I can't imagine how they must be feeling, especially players like Tanaka, who've never played in the Premier League before. I feel like David Moyes' brow, just this thin strip across his brow, looks at least 10 years older than the rest of him by how many times he's been stood on the touchline furrowing his brow. Genuinely, if you just look across just that band, it's so much older than the rest of his face. Here's El-Khannouss over on the right-hand side. Ball down the line here. Potential for an offside, but the ball was going to be crossed in. Gabriel Goodmanson is the one to block that cross, but it is going to be an offside decision against Everton anyway, and Leeds United do get a free kick. Free kick then, and the ball's going to go to Lucas Perry for his, I think his first touches as a Leeds United footballer. The Brazilian sends his team up the field a little bit, and he's going to take a long goal kick. No, that's gone straight through to Keane, who heads that away, but second ball's picked up by Ampadu and Stack, but then eventually won back. And then cleared long, and Rodon can head that one back to Lucas Perry. Rolled out there by Perry to Joe Rodon again. Plenty of space for him to just bring the ball out into the midfield here, Joe Rodon. Needs an option, though. Peru drops in deep and gives him that option. Now Ampadu. Ball spread out to the left-hand side for Gabriel Goodmanson. Gabriel Goodmanson's got a one-on-one here with El-Khannouss, but goes back instead to Nonto. Nonto tries to cross it into the box. Peru! Good save by Pickford. He was aware there, but a good ball into the box there by Nonto. Got Peru into a very, very good area. Yeah, I don't think he knew where the goalkeeper was. Poor touch by Tarkowski in the end. But Pickford was well aware. But that could have easily slid through Pickford's legs and gone in the back of the net. So first corner kick to Leeds United. Anton Stach then to whip this ball into the box. Poor corner, but it's nearly flicked on towards the back post towards Tanaka. Now Dan James looking for another chance to cross it in. Gets it into the box, and the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, is able to catch that one and claim it. Yeah, Ampadu with a really impressive flick that sent the ball a poor corner over the rest of them, and then Dan James's cross is caught by the goalkeeper. Here's Michael Keane. Tries to send a long ball forward, but he sliced that one out of play into touch. Here's Pascal Strauch. See, look, this on the screen now, it's saying that Sean Longstaff is 6'2", but somebody told me he's 5'11" or something, and when I googled it, he was 5'11". So why is Sky saying that he's 6'2" as well? I don't. That must be where I got the number wrong from. Here's Rodon. Now Dan James. Dan James with a great ball into Jayden Bogle. Bogle with a crossing opportunity. Can't quite get there to stop it, but good idea though. Nearly got there, Jayden Bogle. Potentially could have slid for it, but if he's just coming back from a bit of a knock, you wouldn't want to overstretch, would you, just in case? Nonto wins that ball back, but it's a throw into Everton as he can't quite keep his touch in play. There's Jakobiyol on the bench watching on. Can't believe that he's not able to play in this game. It's mad. Here's Jordan Pickford. Now Michael Keane. And then on to James Garner. A little bit short there, and Dan James does win the ball back. Dan James can't quite keep hold of it, though. And now the ball back with Illiman and Diaye. Back with Michael Keane. Yes, it is a positive start, Ruggie. I do feel like we've put the pressure on them a little bit. Nothing amazing in terms of chances, but we've had one shot on target. Here's James Garner then. Back into that midfield here for El-Khannouss. Now Tarkowski. Tarkowski looking for options. Trying to carry the ball here. Tackled there by Anton Stach, I think. But it is going to be a throw in there to Everton. O'Brien to take. Back now. Here to James Tarkowski again. Across to Michael Keane. Leeds not trying to press too high at the moment. You can see that we are pretty much set up in a 4-1-4-1 without the ball. Or a 4-5-1. There's a match preview of the Arsenal game coming out on Thursday, and that will talk about Leeds dropping into a 5-4-1 as well at times, and you can see that they're already doing it here. Pickford went with the long clearance forward. Nonto goes for the winner, and then Ampadu wins the second ball, but it does go back to Tarkowski in the end. O'Brien, and then a tackle by Goodmanson, and it's going to go out for an Everton goal kick as he tackled that hard. Yeah, a little bit nervous, Hank, but it's to be expected, isn't it, coming up to the Premier League? There's a lot of debuts as well. Yeah, Gabriel Goodmanson, 13 Champions League appearances for Lille last season. Everton just taking the time over this goal kick. Remember as well, by the way, if a goalkeeper has the ball in his hands and takes over 8 seconds to take his goal kick this season, it will be given as a corner to the opposite team. So a goalkeeper can't hold on to the ball for 10, 15, 16 seconds like they used to a lot. Good ball from Strauch into Joel Pirou. Pirou on the edge of the box. He goes for a shot, tries to take a shot early. It's deflected wide, and it's going to be a Leeds United corner. Yeah, good little bit of play there by Pascal Strauch. Just get it into Pirou quickly. Pirou just turns and goes to have a shot. Michael Keane blocks, but it is going to be a Leeds United corner. Remember, guys, if a goal goes in, please do not say it until I have reacted to it. And if you're new here, hit that sub button because I think we're less than 30 away from 10,000 subscribers. Hoping it happens in this stream. Anton Stach, ball into the box, headed away there by Beto. Illiman and Diaye tries to win it back, and he just does take it off Stack there. Stack trying to stop that, and the long ball forward here from James Garner is won back by Bogle, who sends that one up towards Joel Pirou. He's actually going to try and chase his own ball here, as now James Garner wins the ball back at left back. Dan James blocks his cross, and it's going to his crossfield ball, and it's going to be another throw into Everton. Do you know what? As much as Leeds have had a fairly decent start and a promising start, This has been a very scrappy game. This has been a very championshipy looking game of football so far. I hope that's not a foreshadowing. Here's Strauch now, picks up the ball. Here's Joe Rodon. Strauch. Anton Stach, who's actually dropped in at left back whilst Goodmanson goes a little bit higher, and he gets it back off Goodmanson now. Here is Anton Stach again on the ball. Tanaka into Strauch, who takes a nice little touch forward and plays the ball out wide now. Ball down the line there from Leeds, not quite able to get to it there, Nonto. But he does. Oh no, I think the ball's still in play. Here's Strauch. Now Tanaka. Out wide now to Gabriel Goodmanson. Nonto picks it up. Now into Anton Stach. And now Nonto with a chance to get the ball across the box. It would have been a very good cross there, but a good sliding tackle from Irogbunam. And it's going to be a Leeds United corner kick. He really tracked the run well there, Irogbunam. He gave Nonto a yard, and then he was able to get back and slide in and stop that cross, but a really good little bit of interplay down the left for Leeds. You can see how Goodmanson, Stach and Nonto are going to link up down that side. Stach with a short corner here. Gets it back off Nonto. there's times tries to cross it in the box. It's a very poor cross into the box. Good little ball there by Nonto, and Leeds are in down the left-hand side here with Anton Stack, and Leeds are going to win another corner. Now Stack has asked somebody else to come and take the corner because his first 2 corners have not been very good. I don't know who it's going to be, though, who he's calling. It might be Goodmanson, maybe? Yeah, it is. It's going to be Gabriel Goodmanson to take it, so let's hope his delivery is a little bit better. And do you know what? Having the height of Stack in the box as well at 6'6" is going to help us out. Ball into the box then. Out to the edge here for Dan James. Dan James goes to shoot, and it is blocked. Ethan Ampadu does sweep up, though, as Everton look to counter-attack. Here's Ampadu. Ball out wide to Dan James under a little bit of pressure there from Dewsbury Hall, but Leeds able to keep the ball in the end. Here's Rodon. Across to Strauch, and Leeds look to build up again from the back. The action areas in the first half, 48% of it has been in Everton's final third, with Leeds attacking. Here's Goodmanson with a poked ball down the line for Nonto. Nonto again looking to try and get the ball in the box. He goes to cross, and again it's going to be a Leeds United corner. Do you know what? I think we're going to set a record for corners in this game. I'm calling it now. I think we're going to set a record for corners. I think we must have already had 4 or 5, 13 minutes in. Yeah, 5, 13 minutes in. Joe Rodon, Pascal Strauch head up from the corner, and of course you've got players like Stack in there as well. Oh no, Stack's going to go and take it this time, and Goodmanson's going to go and get himself inside the box. Stack then with one arm up, getting ready to deliver this cross. It's a better corner into the box. The goalkeeper's missed it, Pickford. It's gone all the way out to the other side, and Tanaka can pick it up by the corner flag. Now Dan James, first time ball into the box. It's gone over everyone. Goodmanson shoots, deflection. And Tanaka across the box. It's bobbling everywhere, and eventually is cleared by Everton. Leeds come so close there to scoring their first goal of the new Premier League campaign. Here's Bogle. The Leeds fans are really getting raucous now as well behind the players after they come very close there to scoring. Here's Goodmanson. Just hoping to calm it down a little bit here. Hi, Ali, welcome. Leeds are looking strong, Goz. I'm really, really liking the way that we're putting pressure on here. We just need to be careful of them coming back up the other way. Here's Rodon. Rodon with a great ball there. Anton Stack with the ball out wide to Bogle. Bogle tries to put the ball in first time, and it's cleared away there by Tarkowski, and it's going to be a throw-in to Leeds out on that right wing. Bogle just getting ready to take this. Now, I'm happy with what Peru's doing so far, taking those chances early, having a shot when they come. But what I will say is I would be excited to see Mecha at some point in this game and see what he can do. Welcome, Sujal. Welcome to the stream, of course. Come on, you Matty White's looking good here. No let up in pressure, absolutely. And, of course, welcome to the stream, Sujal. Goodness, Everton must be wondering. Yeah, well, look, I think Leeds have clearly decided that at home this season we are going to be piling on the pressure, hopefully. That's going to be a throw into Leeds out on that left-hand side as Irogbunham cannot keep the ball in. No worries, CB. Welcome to the stream, mate, of course. CB, one of our Leeds Lately members. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. The big difference between EPL and EFL is ruthlessness. Yeah, you've got to take those chances when you come. You might only get 2 or 3 in an entire game. You've got to take one of them. Here's Ampadu. Now Jayden Bogle. Bogle loses out there, and Alcaraz picks up the ball. Leeds do have cover back, though, and good defending by Leeds because they forced Alcaraz to have to go backwards there, and now Leeds are all set up in their defensive formation again. Good defending, good harrying and pressing by Leeds. Successful passes in the final third. Leeds 22, Everton 2. Dewsbury Hall went down like a sack of spuds there under a small amount of pressure from Ethan Ampadu. We're just seeing the replay now. Yeah. He flapped at it the first time, Pickford, when that ball came in the box. Yeah, and then Goodmanson had a shot, and Pickford then didn't quite get to the second ball. Hi, Namasaya. welcome to the channel, mate. Appreciate that. You've got us one step closer to 10,000 subscribers, so I appreciate that. Here come Everton down the right-hand side, but that ball's rolled out, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. CB saying, sounds like we're on top. We are definitely on top at the moment. We are the ones putting the pressure on Everton. And we've learned so many times in the Premier League, you've got to get a goal to kind of have something to show for it. Here's Stack. Goodmanson with the clearance. Up towards Dan James, who does well to get the ball to Piru, but Piru's first touch is poor and then cleared by Goodmanson. Bogle can pick the ball up here. Bogle keeps the ball in, and it is going to go right over into that corner by Pickford. Here's Michael Keane. Everton trying to just kind of calm it down at the back here a little bit. Welcome, Chewy. We are now 22 subscribers away from 10k. We are so close. He's Ethan Ampadu. Piru with a nice little ball around the corner towards Anton Stach, and Pickford is going to get there first because Stach was tackled a little bit there and the ball kind of flew into his path but too far for him to actually get to, and Pickford ends up lumping it into touch actually, so it's going to be a Leeds United throw-in. Throw in then for Leeds to be taken by Goodmanson into the feet of Anton Stach. Now Goodmanson into Stach again. Stach into Tanaka. Tanaka now Bogle. Bogle might shoot here, but no, he plays the ball out one more to Dan James. Dan James looking to open a chance to get the ball across the box. It's a good ball, and Piru can't quite get there ahead of Michael Keane, who clears it, and it's actually going to go out for another Leeds throw-in. Ampadu takes it quickly and gives it across to Strauch in the centre circle. Now Joe Rodon. In the chat, what do the crowns mean? I think it's like people who've put stuff in the chat the most time. It's almost like a leaderboard thing. Who are our subs? DCL's not on the bench, but other than that, it's the sub bench you'd expect, really. Darlow, Metcher, Longstaff. Let me get it for you. Darlow, Byram, Bornau, Longstaff, Gruev, Aronson, Ramazani, Harrison, and Metcher. Here's Joe Rodon. Now Ampadu. Strauch out wide here to Goodmanson. I'm not doing a corner count, no. It's too much to keep track of. I'm not going to do a corner count this season. Here's Goodmanson. Now Tanaka. Do you know what? I'm going to have good faith in Leeds United's recruitment that we're going to actually score some corners this season, so I'm not going to take the mick out of it. James with a good ball into the box, and Piru, Bogle back across, and then cleared by O'Brien. Offside anyway, but Leeds come very close there. Greg Clevenger saying calming play-by-play is easy on the nerves, thank you. Yeah, I'm calm until we get into the box, and then I'm not. But Piru, yeah, he just tries to direct it towards goal. It takes a deflection, and then Bogle was in an offside position when he tried to head it square back across goal, so it's a free kick to Everton. Tell you what, though, Mick, I think Gnonto's been one of our brighter players in today's game, and I think the combination of him and Goodmanson down that side has really proved that. Look, I made a tweet the other day about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and saying when he played for Everton, they weren't ever a majorly attacking side other than maybe under Carlo Ancelotti, and that's when he had his best seasons. And loads of people said to me, "Oh, well, Leeds aren't going to attack this season. Leeds aren't going to be attacking at all." But I've tried to say to people, just because we haven't got a number 10 does not mean we're going to not attack. We're still going to have that threat from the fullbacks. It's just that people like Stach, Ampadu and Tanaka make that midfield more solid to give us a base to go off, to allow Bogle and Goodmanson to be that attacking threat. So that's what I'm kind of saying to to that we are going to play some attacking football at least. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Across to O'Brien. O'Brien with the ball down the line, and Strauch can just head that one back to Gabriel Goodmanson. Here's Ampadu. Ball out wide to Bogle. Leeds 5 shots to Everton 0. Leeds 1 shot on target to Everton 0. Leeds 8 touches in the opponent's box to Everton's 0. And Leeds United with 59% possession and Everton with 41. Here's Nonto trying to fashion something here. Cuts back and forth inside the box. Tries to do a little back heel to Goodmanson there, but just too much on it for him to be able to get to. Exactly, Chaz. There you go. Oh, look, Liam Cooper's in the crowd. 284 appearances. 10 years. Little chipped ball by Pickford to Illiman and Dye. Leeds nearly win the ball back, but here's Idrissa Gana Gueye, who, fun fact, when me and my partner were on the way back from Florida in Manchester Airport waiting for a taxi, Idrissa Gana Gueye just walked past us with a PSG suitcase because that's when he was signing back for Everton from PSG. And I was just like, I'm sure that's Idrissa Gueye. And it was. It made sense that he had a PSG suitcase as well, to be fair. Here's Nonto. Here's Anton Stach. Good ball down the line here for Goodmanson. Goodmanson with a great little touch, and he can't quite get the ball. He did a really good bit of dribbling there, Goodmanson, but he couldn't quite get the ball into Pirou's feet. But as well, Stach goes there and makes another really good challenge. Everybody's liking Stach so far, I think. Is Tarkowski with the long ball forward. That's a Leeds United free kick. Taken quickly in our own half, and now Bogle carries it forwards over the right-hand side. I think they can keep it up, Robert. We saw them do it all last season. So, I mean, I think one of Farke's things to do is to basically, if you can get a goal or two, and then you start to sit off a little bit. So I think we'll be pushing until we can try and get a goal. Here's Strauch. Now Goodmanson, just inside the Leeds half. Sorry, that's actually Stach that's dropped in and given it to Goodmanson. So Stach currently playing left back because he likes to drop in. Tanaka, back to Strauch. Bit of a heavy ball from Tanaka, but Pirou just plays a very Rodrigo-style pass there, but Stach deals with it well. Now Stach comes forward and gives the ball to Goodmanson. Back now to Tanaka. Again, Leeds maintaining possession well here. Here's Ampadu. I mean, the people who say that Ampadu can't play in the midfield, like, what sport are you watching? Because I know it's no one in here. It's people I've seen online and stuff. But Ethan Ampadu's very comfortable in that midfield role. Here's Strauch. Now Rodon. Strauch again. A little bit more pressure here from Everton. Goodmanson. Plays the ball to Tanaka. Really good little bit of play there. Then a long switch there out to Dan James. Dan James with a great touch. Dan James with a great ball into the box. It just dips over the head of Willy Nonto, and it's going to be a goal kick there to Everton. But really good bit of play there by Dan James. And that's what I've said before. If we get a striker who is willing to make those runs in towards the back post, the way that Dan James cuts back and curls those balls into the back post, I'm telling you, really, really good chance of scoring goals from there. Nonto not quite ready for it, not quite tall enough. But yeah, there's a real good chance of goals from that area. Goodmanson's fantastic. That's why I kind of waxed lyrical about him in pre-season when we were talking about the players that we were coming in, and I did my video on him. I think he'll be fantastic for us. As an attacking threat, he's great. Demirovic I mean, I've got a video coming out tomorrow on Demirovic at 12 o'clock. And in that video, I thank everybody for 10K. So let's hope I actually hit it. Otherwise, it'd be quite embarrassing as it still says like 9.9K and I'm thanking people for 10K in the video. But we'll see. I'm so hot in this room, by the way, that at half time I might need to just like dip my head in a bucket of water and come back looking like a crazy person. Anyway, throw in for Everton in the final third here, just opposite the Leeds United box, and it looks like it's going to be a long throw, so Leeds are getting ready to defend against this. It's been taken back to Idrissa Gueye, and he tries to put the ball in the box, headed away by Anton Stach. Irogbunam back to Idrissa Gueye, who plays another long ball forward, and now Lucas Perry catches that one with ease. And there he is, booting the ball out. That's going to be a Everton throw-in as it just bounces out of play there. Yeah, that's true, Chewy, but if it doesn't quite say it, then it's still going to be a little bit like, ooh. He's gone a bit early on that one. Oh, well, only 18 now. Only 18. Good little bit of play from Everton here as they come forward. Leeds are giving the ball away. Here's Idrissa Gueye. Tries to put the ball across the box. Bogle, and eventually Perry is able to get on the ball in front of Alcaraz there. It does make a difference, doesn't it, having a new goalkeeper? It kind of fills you with a bit more confidence. Bogle did some good shielding there, but Perry was the ultimately the one who managed to come out and get that. Is Bogle with the ball back into Stack and then back out wide to Piru, who's taken up a position on the right wing. Now Tanaka. Tanaka being fouled all the time there by Irogbunam. That should be a yellow card because he really stopped a counter-attack there. Piru cuts inside, plays the ball into to Stack, who plays it to Tanaka. He looks to go to the left wing, and then Irogbunam just pulls him down by his neck. For me, that's a yellow card all day. Here's Rodon, out wide to Bogle. He's got Dan James in support. The ball gets deflected, though, and cleared away by James Garner, but Tanaka can pick it up again. Tanaka tackled, though, by Illiman and Dye. Tanaka just needing to adjust a little bit to the pace. Dan James has adjusted to the pace, though, as he nicks the ball off Garner. But then Garner does manage to get it back to Pickford in the end. Tanaka heads that one back to Strauch, and Leeds can... Leeds can carry on here. Here's Ampadu. It's been a good... It's been an impressive start from Leeds, like a very dominant start, and we look very good and very comfortable at this level. But like Bigfoot's saying, I want that goal soon. I don't like dominating a game without getting the go-ahead goal. The nerves build the longer the game goes without like this. Exactly. Dan James, ball into the box, headed away there. Exactly. I completely agree with that sentiment. Lord Sheargrath, welcome to the stream. YouTube has been a pain tonight. Everyone is buffering occasionally. Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad, but thank you for joining us. And of course, you are actually our top fan of the week after your donations in the AC Milan game and the transfer roundup video, transfer roundup live stream as well. So thank you for being our top fan of the week, Lord Sheargrath. Hi, Michael. Michael's saying, hi, peeps. Leeds all over them. Are they set up with a typical away block? They don't seem to be massively. They're obviously very well organised because they're a David Moyes side. They have got a bit of a counter attack on here though. Good tackle there by Jayden Bogle on Ndai. Dan James into Piru, and Leeds get out of danger there. That looked like Leeds didn't have many players back in the defence there, and just in time Bogle made a good tackle. That's the first time we've ever looked exposed at any point in this game as well, by the way, half an hour in. And of course, as well, yeah, make sure you hit that like button, because if you haven't already, hit the like button. When we hit 100 likes, we know that that's when Leeds score a goal. Thanks, Lord Sheargrath. Yeah, I've actually got your second print here as well, ready to be shipped out tomorrow. Here's Gabriel Goodmanson, now Stack. Back again to Tanaka. And then all the way back to Pascal Struijk. Joe Rodon. Bogle just being harried by James Garner there and forced to go back to Rodon, who gives it in the end back to Lucas Perry, who nearly runs it out for an Everton corner. But in the end, Leeds are able to clear. A little bit of a dodgy moment there from Perry for the first time. Ooh, Dan James chasing this one down from Taki. But it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Looks like Dan James and Nonto are actually both out on the right-hand side at the moment. Or not. Dan James went a central a little bit as well. Oh, God, that went out. Yeah, Lucas Perry took the ball way out of play there. Goal line technology must not be working. Here's Ampadu. Now Struijk. Goodmanson. Here's Gabriel Goodmanson down the left-hand side. Cross across the box. Dan James can't quite get there. It's a very good cross, but do you know what? It needs a Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the end of it or a Demirovic. It needs a Demirovic on the end of it, that cross. It really does. Going to be a throw-in, though, to Everton. James Garner to take it. Who did James Garner sign for Everton from? Was he at Forest? Someone remind me, because I know James Garner, but I can't remember. It was definitely a team that plays in red, I think. Here is James Garner as well. I think he might just shield that one out for a goal kick, and he does. Yeah, do you know why, Michael, as well? It's because Mykolenko's injured. So I based the tactical preview on whether Mykolenko was going to be fit. Now, if Mykolenko was fit, it would mean that he could play higher up and they could go into a bit of a back three and they could force the issue up front a little bit more. But because they've got no Mykolenko and they're having to play James Garner at left back, neither of their fullbacks are willing to get high. So then they can't create any overloads against our back line. And when they come forward, they're pretty much completely outnumbered, which means that they cannot play anywhere near as effectively as they were doing last season, and why they kind of did really well under David Moyes was because of the use of Mykolenko. But because he's injured and they've got no other fullback to play there, they're a bit toothless in attack so far. Here's Goodmanson, ball down the line to Nonto. A little bit of a slow ball, so Nonto has to wait for it. Nonto has a couple of players on him, but he's looking to try and get the ball into the box. Here's Goodmanson, cuts back. Goodmanson fouled there, nothing given though. Now Ampadu. Ampadu runs away from Dewsbury Hall and Piru plays it out wide. Goodmanson's got a little bit of a chance to cross the ball into the box. It's a great cross, and then Dan James, he saw it very late and it just comes off his boot and goes over the bar there. But good ball into the box there by Goodmanson. Yeah, good run by Dan James, and he thought Stack was going to head it, I think, and it just comes over him. Yeah, it just comes over him, and Dan James, he just tries to get anything of it and fires it over the bar in the end. But again, a good cross from Gabriel Goodmanson there. Oh, it is a corner, though, to Leeds. Must have come off an Everton player. My mistake. Stack then with a cross into the box. This is a better one. Oh, that would have been Tanaka in at the back post there, but it's deflected away by O'Brien, I think it was. Here's Tanaka. Tries to cross it again, but it's going to be a Leeds United throw-in as it's deflected by O'Brien. Ethan Ampadu then looks like he's going to attempt to take a bit of a long throw in here. Ampadu then with a long throw in into the box. It is a long throw in, it's flicked on. Only as far as Nonto on the edge. Nonto flicks that ball back out wide to Ampadu. Ampadu with a cross back into the box, headed away there by Irog Bunham. Now Joe Rodon being told to shoot by the Elland Road faithful, but I don't think he will. Now Tanaka tries to cross the ball into the box. Piru into the feet of Stack. Tries to get it back to Piru. Good tackle there by Ampadu. What a crunching challenge. I tell you what, have a shot there. Pushed away by Pickford. Another shot on target for Leeds. I tell you what, I think Ethan Ampadu's had a few words with Dewsbury Hall. I don't think he's his favourite person because he seems to be going through him an awful lot. This is exactly the kind of tackling that sees the Leeds the Leeds faithful go wild when people just get absolutely crunched. What a challenge. I love to see that, I've got to say. He just absolutely crunched him. And then, yeah, Piru does make the foul in the end on Idrissa Gana game. Leeds defo the strongest. Oh, yeah, 100%. We've been absolutely dominant. No, not reckless. He had his toes were actually pointed at the ground, so he never went over the ball. Leeds 66% possession and Everton 34% possession. Leeds 0.4 xg, Everton 0 xg. Goodmanson trying to get past Alcaraz there. It's going to be a Everton throw-in. O'Brien takes that throw-in backwards. Probably Mick, but then to be fair, Nonto is... I think Dewsbury Village Hall is being demolished. It literally just has been. Nonto's on the 1 on the halfway line, though, defending from the corner, so Nonto's not actually in the box, so it'd have to be somebody else to swap with. Stack trying to leave a little bit on Irog Bunham there, and then Nonto makes a challenge on O'Brien. It's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Nice. A mother holding her child that was probably 5 or 6 on her lap, and I could just see her scream F off at O'Brien there. Classic Elland Road. Here's Goodmanson then. With the throw-in. Goodmanson with a long throw down the line. Headed away by Everton. And now Ampadu back to Goodmanson again. Goodmanson looked to play a long ball there. No one's really closing him down, so he tries to play another ball down the line, but it's cut out and it's going to be another Leeds throw-in for Goodmanson, just a little bit higher up this time. Someone needs to give him an option, though, for God's sake. Tries to play it down the line there, Goodmanson, and nothing doing. Ball back to Pickford in the end. It's a poor pass from Pickford. His clearances have been awful. Strauk. Back to Lucas Perry. Under a little bit of pressure, but clears it well. Oh, actually, doesn't. It wasn't a very good clearance. Here's Iliman Ndiaye. Little bit of an overload down the left-hand side here, but that's what we love to see from Dan James with that tracking back, just to make them think twice about playing that ball. Leeds have got a good kind of 4-5-1 setup again defensively here. Looks as though when we're defending, we're playing a bit of a 4-5-1, and one player from midfield will step out to join Piru in pressing whoever's got the ball. At the moment, for example, it's Piru and Tanaka that are the ones kind of pressing the front line, and then you've got a 4 across the midfield behind them. Would be amazing to score before half-time, but I feel like we're going to go in 0-0 at half-time, having really dominated that first half. Remember to check out the links in the description down below as well, everybody. There is my Leeds United wall art, my prints, and then there is also the Leeds United store, which if you use my link, I get a small affiliate kickback and no extra cost to you. It's just a good way to support the channel. Here's Nonto. Now Goodmanson. Strauk. Nonto. Having to come back here again to stroke. So that one's actually going to roll all the way through to Lucas Perry. One of Perry's negatives, is that he's not the most fantastic at ball distribution. Stack then trying to play the ball. Oh, Dan James is actually going to get there, I think. Oh, good tackle there by Garner. It's going to be a Leeds throwing out on the right-hand side. Still created a little bit, though, Sujal. A lot more than Everton have created, we'll say that. We've still created a lot more than what Everton have created. But when they have tried to hit us on the break, they don't do it in enough numbers for us to actually kind of be threatened by it. This is not a defective shirt, by the way. It's just the green screen is picking that up as green rather than yellow for some reason. Here's Ethan Ampadu. Long throw in into the box. Ooh, it's gone over everyone. It's got that much of a long throw in. Here's Nonto. Nonto's done. Alcaraz, he goes to shoot! Just over the bar. Not bad from Nonto. Do I think Peru is good enough? It's got an E on the end, but that's just me being pedantic. But yeah, I do actually. I think he's had an okay first half, Peru. He's dropped in nicely in between the lines, played little balls around the corner to try and help his wingers get a bit of space. And when he's had a chance, he's looked up and tried to shoot early. So I like that about Peru. I think, to be honest, we will see Mecha at some point later on in this game. And I would like to see Mecha as well. I think, especially if it's still 0-0 a bit later on, a bit of Lucas Mecha might help us. Especially when you're getting established in the Premier League, Chaz. It's nice to be able to play passing football, but sometimes if you just hoof it long. And you know what? It's not as bad hoofing it long if you've actually got players who can win the ball in the final third. Say you've got a Dominic Calvert-Lewin or a Demirovic or a Mecha or somebody up front who can actually win the ball and win the knockdowns. Then it's not as bad going long. It's when you've got players who can't hold the ball up and you send the ball long, it gives you issues in terms of the ball just coming straight back at you. So as long as we can hold the ball up, it's not the end of the world. Because Jacobi Yol and Joe Rodon are a little bit like that as well. We could do with a target man up front. Well, Mecha is a target man and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a target man as well. So that gives you, with Peru, some different types of strikers. But we also need an absolute bagsman, and that is what Demirovic is. Demirovic. He is just an out-and-out goal scorer, and he would do amazing for us. Video out on him tomorrow. Header away there by Joe Rodon. Dan James misses the second ball, and here's Idrissa Gueye coming forward. Leeds have got plenty of players back, but can they defend this successfully? Goes back to James Garner. Now, well, that's half-time. No time added on at all. No time added on at all there for the first half. I'm just going to go and quickly fill up my water bottle and probably splash myself with some cold water because it is boiling in here. I'll be back very, very soon. And as CB says, 9.98k subs now. We're almost there. Yeah, it's 17 subscribers to go. But I will be back very, very shortly. I'm just going to go and fill up my water bottle, etc., etc. What I will do, though, is just make sure that before I do go, we go second half and then we press reset. There we go. I shall be back very, very soon. Hello. So, oh, for God's sake, I meant to click on this, and as soon as I was about to click on it, a new comment came through, and I accidentally clicked on Chewy's rather vulgar comment, and it came up on the screen. So that is not what I meant to do. Apologies for that. But what I will say is that was a very, very good first half from Leeds. Dominant from front to back. Like I said, really, the thing is that Leeds were able to kind of have that attacking dominance because Everton really didn't want to attack that much. And like I was saying during the match a little bit, a lot of the reason for that is because Vitaly Mykolenko is injured. What David Moyes likes to do is send Vitaly Mykolenko up the pitch over on the left-hand side, which allows Iliman and Dye, or whoever's playing on that left wing, to be able to cut inside and have that kind of freedom to create overloads. And it means that they go into a little bit of a back three with O'Brien tucking in with Tarkowski and Keane. It makes them have a little bit of more of a fluid attacking partnership, but because they don't have any backup left backs and they've only got James Garner, who's coming in, who's not a left back at all. He's a holding midfielder, a decent one, but a holding midfielder. He's having to play left back, so he's not willing to get as high because he then knows that he probably might not be able to get back. And it means that Leeds are able to dominate more because they aren't willing to particularly commit too many players forward to a counter-attack. I imagine that might change as the game goes on a little bit, so Leeds will need to be careful of that and they will need to watch out. But what I will say is that Leeds are absolutely dominating in this game so far. Thank you so much, Chewy Becker, for the... 1 second. Thanks so much, Chewy, for the super chat. Don't be a right Farker. Don't be a right Farker sub before the 70th minute. Oh, yeah, I get it now. That's just me being thick. Wait for it to come through on the actual YouTube Studio app, and when it does, I can... There we go. I can give it a like as well. Everybody like the super chat as well, so you know it's appreciated, and it is very much appreciated. Thank you, Chewy. Yeah, everybody make sure you subscribe. We are 17 away now from that big 10,000 subscribers, and I am buzzing for it. But in this first half, Leeds have been very, very good. I really will say Leeds have been very, very good. Thanks, Chewy, for the super chat. Look, this is what I was talking about, by the way. Goodmanson and Bogle providing that attacking threat with Dan James and Nonto. I think Piru's had a very good game, you know. The thing with Piru is that he's not an out-and-out striker, so he does a lot of his good work dropping in as almost a number 10. He wears the number 10 shirt as a midfielder. He's done really, really well. Yeah, it is mad how Stack is 6'4" and he's the one taking the corner kicks, as they just said. Mikey LS27 saying one of these chances has to go in. Same fight second half. Come on. Yeah, absolutely. If we can keep this up, then you've got to believe that at some point we'll be able to get the ball in the back of the net, especially from maybe one of these set pieces. We've had a lot of good chances. 12 shots so far. A few of them on target. Yeah. Jack Grealish warming up. I mean, Jack Grealish is a good player, but they are hyping him up like he's prime Messi. Like he's good, but he's not like he's been out of form a little bit for a couple of years at City. Of course, he's not been in a system that really suits him, and this might suit him a little bit more. But without the support, without any support, which he hasn't been really getting, I expected more from Everton, to be honest. Because when you actually have a look at the lineup and the players that they've got some very well established, strong Premier League players in there. But I guess it's probably mostly in their defence. So I've been not disappointed with Everton because I want them to be poor so we can beat them. But you get what I mean. They've not been fantastic, and I think Leeds have really, really dominated them and shown our quality. Yeah, Grealish was really, really good for Aston Villa. And at times he could be a game changer, but he does need other players as well to help him out. And I don't think he's like... I don't want this to come back and bite me if he comes on and scores the winner or something. But the way that they're hyping him up, they're making it sound like he's like the best player who ever lived, and Everton have got... If he was that good, Everton wouldn't be able to get him on loan. So... Actually, Robert, Chewy's earned the right to say that because he sent a super chat. So he's bought my silence on his jokingly negativity. Daz Payne saying, I think Everton will be in trouble this year and may go down with Brentford and Burnley. That's what a lot of people were saying when Moyes took over from Dyche, though. He made a massive difference to how good Everton were and how good Everton are. And I think that his make or break will be whether they buy another left back or a right back even to kind of fit the way that they want to play. So, yeah, they could be good this season, but in this game they aren't providing anything really. Unless their plan was to soak up the play for the first half, get into half time at 0-0, perfectly going for them, and then in the second half, then they go and attack. Mark Hart is saying at some point I want to see Largy. I can imagine that's probably part of the game plan because Ramazani is someone who can certainly come on, make a big difference off the bench and change the game essentially. Be that guy with that kind of... I love how explosive Ramazani is and how he just takes a touch, opens up a gap for himself and shoots. That's what I want to see. I think everybody is, to be fair, CB. I think it was only Chewy that was just joking. But yeah, look, the way that we are at the moment, we're looking very good. And I know a lot of people said, we'll be absolutely trounced with this side. But James, Nonto and Piru are not like bad players by any stretch of the imagination. Piru's looked very comfortable at Premier League level against these players, dropping in, picking up the ball, playing the ball out to the wings, or just doing his kind of false nine, dropping in work. I think he's done really well. And yes, of course, we all do love a Largy Ramazani backflip. If he scores and does a backflip, then the crowd will go wild. To be fair, the crowd will go wild at Elland Road no matter who scores. Nonto does look sharp, and I do think that it's a lot to do with Goodmanson. I think Goodmanson, much like Firpo, really. Obviously, Goodmanson's probably a better player than Firpo. Well, in fact, definitely, because otherwise Firpo wouldn't have been playing in the Championship and Goodmanson in the Champions League. But having Goodmanson unlocks Nonto because it allows him to have somebody to play with, somebody to bounce the ball off. And Goodmanson himself, some very neat little touches and ability to go past people. He was up there with one of the best fullbacks in Europe for successful take-ons in his time at Lille. So over the last kind of 365 days. So he's got that in the locker, Goodmanson, to go past people, to open up space, and to be able to play interplay with his winger. Everton has soaked up all the pressure, so just worried now that they turn on the pressure and score a lucky one. Well, they'll need to actually throw some plays forward. This is the this is kind of the balance of it, Sajal. That if Everton want to do that, they'll have to start throwing a few more players forward if they want to push for a goal. But if they do start pushing players forward, it means that they're leaving more gaps at the back. So then you've got the chance of Leeds going up the other end and scoring. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Do you think he will make any we will make any changes at halftime? No, I don't think so. I think 60th, 70th minute, we might have a look at bringing on Mecha if it's still goalless. Ramazani as well. Of course, you've got a few other players on the bench who can make a difference in there. $16 subscribers, still 10k. I have to say, some of our passing though has been superb. Confident one-touch stuff as if we're playing a bottom half championship team. Yeah, I've been impressed with how good our passing's been. And do you know what? I talked about this in I love it when I'm right. I talked about this in pre-season. I talked about how in the Premier League, one of your biggest failings as a team can be giving the ball away. And if you've got a midfield who gives the ball away too often, you get absolutely punished for it. But with the fact that Leeds have got Stack, Tanaka and Ampadu in that midfield, and especially Longstaff as well on the bench, you've got players who don't often give the ball away, which gives you that kind of opportunity to be a team that is effective in build-up without ever giving the ball away to the point where you get counter-attacked all the time. And I think that's a really good thing to have. Hey, we've hit 100 likes. Thanks everybody who's liked the stream. That means that there's a goal incoming for Leeds, just as Robert says as well. Everton watch-alongs are bouncing between it's early, stay calm, we can easily win, and we can't string 4 passes together, this team is doomed. Well, isn't that just kind of the spectrum of football fans in general? Some people are inherently negative, some people are inherently positive, some people are very well reasoned and level-headed about things. So yeah, Everton looked like they were just promoted, not us. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever considered Premier League? It's a bit late now, isn't it? We've already done the first game's already happened. I'm in one with the Leeds, all the people who played in the, not all of them, but a lot of people who played in the Creator Cup. But I don't take it that seriously. But I might do a full league next season. That might be a good idea for people to get involved with. Everton has a streak. They've never been relegated since the league went to 20. Oh yeah, not in. They're one of the only teams who's never been relegated from the top flight, I think. Mark, I'm also a Leeds fan, and I can be level-headed. So, CB saying, "Have a nice cold drinks, Max." Well, you're paying for me to have a nice sip of water, so thank you very much, CB. Cheers, CB. Thanks for that. And thank you very much, of course, for your super chat. I really, really appreciate those super chats, guys. They really, really help me to keep going with this. Thank you very, very much. Make sure you like the super chats as well. By the way, guys. We are going back to the live coverage now. David Moyes, the Spaniard coach. Oh no, sorry, it's David Moyes. Is heading back out to the Everton dugout, and Leeds United should be joining him on the pitch very, very soon. Here we go. We are just about to get back underway. Let me just make sure we go on timer and then get ready to press kickoff/stop. Come on. Back underway again here at Elland Road. Here's a ball forward from Strauk. Just 15 subscribers away now from 10k, but let's get on with the commentary. Joel Pirou tries there to block that, but it is going to be a Leeds throw-in right by the corner flag. I don't know if it does anything, Michael, but we always say to like the super chats just because we're supporting and thanking whoever's sent one. O'Brien then with the long throw in. Nonto tries to fling that one back inside, headed away by Michael Keane, and now Ampadu back forward into Piru. Nice little touch into Stack. Stack tries to play it to Goodmanson, but Alcaraz picks that one off, but then Goodmanson nearly gets there, but he was definitely being pulled there by Alcaraz. Goodmanson maybe getting a little bit used to here to the physicality of the Premier League. We always say the physicality of the Premier League, but sometimes it's just a little bit of the dark arts, cheating a little bit, grabbing hold of his shirt. Yeah, it's all classed as engagement. Rodon with the ball forward here. I've watched a few of the first games, and I think Leeds have come out as one of the more convincing sides. Here's Shrewsbury Hall charging forwards. He's got Beto alongside him. He plays the ball to Beto. Beto's gone a bit out wide here. We will go to the super chat in a second, Justin, just whilst this attack is on, though. Here's Idrissa Gueye. Leeds have defended this well and forced them back. Justin O'Dell with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Justin, for the super chat. I heard that if Max gets 10k subs this week, we'll win the league. I might get 10k subs in this stream. Hopefully. We only need 15 now or 14 or something. But thanks so much, Justin, for the super chat. And everyone, make sure you go and like the super chat as well, so we can support the people who are supporting me. Here's O'Brien out on the right-hand side. Away by Stack. Now away by Strout. Good communication there with Rodon because they didn't both go for the ball. Nonto trying to charge down Tarkowski. That's a handball from Tarkowski. Nothing given. It's going to be a throw into Everton right in their own corner, but it was definitely a handball. Whether it was intentional or not doesn't really matter to me. It's the fact that it's come off his hand. He's put his own hand and moved his hand to the ball there. It is a handball. He swung his hand towards the ball and hit it. To me, that's a handball. Doesn't matter if his hands was eventually in a natural position. Oh, cleared away there by O'Brien. As far as Bogle, who can probably... Yeah, he's probably going to have to leave that out for a throw-in. Oh, I forgot about match reactions. I'll have to record a reaction after this as well. Here's Ethan Ampadu. Now Joe Rodon. Perry here. Long ball forward. Oh, it's come off the back of Joël Piroux there. Wasn't too aware of what was happening there, I don't think, the lead striker. Oh, a little bit of a short ball there from Garner back to the goalkeeper. Here's Alcaraz. Back now to O'Brien. Irogbunham, and then Tarkowski plays forward into Idrissa Gueye. Now Keane, and then back out to James Garner out on that left back's possession. Illiman Ndiaye drops deep, gets the ball and gives it back to him. Everton just playing around at the back at the moment. Leeds just sitting into their shape now so that they can't play through us. Ball all the way again back to Pickford here. Played into Irogbunham. Good interception there by Tanaka. Gets up very quickly. Here's Nonto. Leeds with the chance here. Nonto goes to shoot. He feels he was maybe fouled on the edge of the box there, but I think it was just a good tackle. He just took too long there, Nonto, and I think he's not getting quite... Well, he's not quite used yet to the speed of the Premier League, because it was a good opportunity there. Tanaka picks the ball up, gives it to Nonto. There's a chance if he plays it early to Piroux, but in the end he goes for the shot from the end of the box. Probably should have tried to put him in, but Piroux did make a run across his path in the end, which probably wasn't the best for him to get a ball into his feet. Leeds do have a lot of pace as well. You're right, Robert, and how fast Dan James can get back He's really helpful when we're defending the breaks. That's a poor header there, a wave by Rodon. Here's Illiman and Alcaraz trying to play the ball into Beto, but it's away there by Leeds in the end, and the ball eventually bounces safely through to Lucas Perry, the Leeds United goalkeeper. Lucas Perry rolls that one out to Pascal Strauk. Ampadu clears that one. Headed away, though, by Tarkowski, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Tanaka does read the game really well, though. His interception there was excellent. I talk about that a little bit in my tactical preview of the Arsenal game, about how switched on we're going to be, or we're going to have to be, to block some of the passing lanes that they like to play in. Stack tries to play that forward, it hits Dewsbury Hall, and then Alcaraz's pass is really poor and Leeds can pick it up through Ampadu. Ampadu with a long ball over the top towards Dan James, and Pickford is going to be able to come and pick that ball up. Second half possession, in the opening 6.5 minutes, Everton 70%, Leeds 30%, so a little bit of a shift in terms of how much each team has got the ball. Nothing in the way of chances, though, really, for Everton, as that one safely bounces through to Lucas Perry again. Here's Rodon. Good ball by Dan James into Jayden Bogle. Bogle pokes it down the line, and he gets there on the other side of Illiman and Dye as well. Bogle just needs to try and find a pass, and he can't. He's poked it all the way through to Pickford when he was trying to find Stack or Peru. Here's Tarkowski. Now Alcaraz. Good foot there by Joe Rodon, and then Nonto one more. Here's Stack. Now Nonto. Nonto with a little nutmeg, but it goes all the way to Dewsbury Hall, and then Dewsbury Hall gives it away as well. There's a little bit of scrappiness and poor play heading into the second half as Alcaraz tries to tackle Tanaka, and Tanaka just completely brushes him off onto the floor. Poor little pass by Bogle there. Just a few more misplaced passes creeping into Leeds' game. Other than Mecha, who else comes on? You've also got Laji Ramazani. Sean Longstaff can come on and do a job in midfield. We've got some new signings that we can bring on. Yeah, Longstaff can come on in midfield for somebody like Tanaka, potentially. A little bit more of a forward threat. Good punch there by Perry as the ball was lofted forward. And then, of course, you've also got Ramazani, who can make a difference. Here's Illiman and Dye. Plays the ball to the edge of the box. Shot goes over the bar by Idrissa Gueye. No, Chewy, not anymore. I've put it back on the camera now. I don't know if you remember, or whether you were here at that time when we first started doing watch-alongs. My camera used to overheat all the time, so I have now always got a fan on it. But because I'm getting so hot in this room, I had the fan on me, so I've put it back on the camera now to make sure it doesn't overheat. But then I'm going to overheat. I feel like I'm already going red. Here's Tanaka. Tanaka with the ball down the line here for Dan James. Dan James is going to get there. He's not going to look to play it in first time. He's going to look for options. Here is Dan James on the corner of the box out on the right-hand side. Good ball across. Here's Nonto. Nonto goes to shoot. Side netting. Side netting. Nonto wants a corner. Been given as a goal kick. He's onside, Nonto, and the ball comes to him, and he just spins on it and tries to fire it towards the near post corner. And in the end, it just hits the side netting. Good bit of play, though, from Leeds. Good ball from Dan James and a good, clever run from Nonto as well to find space in the box. I'd like to see Ramazani as well, Karen, but I think we'll see Ramazani, Mecha and Longstaff will be the subs in this game. And I think we'll see them around the 70th minute, maybe a little bit later than that. That's my prediction, really, on that. The sound of the fan was quite strangely. We're all having to soothe ourselves because of how anxiety-ridden watching Leeds back in the Premier League is. To be fair, watching Leeds in any division is anxiety-ridden. It's Lucas Perry who just chests that one down and plays it back out here to Pascal Struijk. Struijk carries it then. Gives it to Gudmundsson on the halfway line. Gudmundsson skins Alcaraz. He's done so well there, Gudmundsson. Now back to Gnonto. I'll say the 73rd minute, Lord Sheargarath. Also, bad tackle there by Irogbunam, but Leeds are on the break here. Here's Bogle with the ball forward into Dan James. Tries to put it across the box, but it's going to be a Leeds corner kick. Ethan Ampadu is in a lot of pain here. It's going to be a yellow card for Irogbunam. It's a poor challenge and it is a yellow card. I hope it's not too serious for Ampadu, because that's going to be a horrendous thing to happen on the opening day of the season for Leeds if Ampadu's injured. And for Ampadu himself, of course. But Ampadu, is still being seen to here. It looked to me like he was holding his knee a little bit, Crossman. Oh, Ilya Gruev is getting warmed up. I don't mind Gruev as a Premier League player, by the way, either. I think Gruev's very capable. I don't want him to have to come on because Ampadu's having a really good game. Hi, Whitesnake. Welcome. Yeah, I don't want to have to Ampadu to go off, but if he does, Gruev's not a bad replacement at all. We are now 15 subscribers away from 10k. We are very, very close. Lord Sheargarath saying, I've always rated Gruev. He does the dirty work well. He does, and he drops in nicely into that left-back position, into the right-back position, whenever he needs to cover, or into even the centre-back position as well. He does a good job of covering for the full-backs when they go high and wide, which is exactly what Farke wants him to do. Ampadu looks like he's up on his feet again, getting a standing ovation from the Leeds fans. Well, to be fair, who were already stood up. But at the moment, Ampadu's going to go off for 30 seconds or whatever it has to be, but Leeds will be playing with one less midfielder until he's allowed back on the pitch. Well, Leeds have got a corner at the moment. Yeah, he's got to walk off. He's got to come off the pitch for 30 seconds whilst the game's being played before he's allowed to come back on. Corner kick comes in then from Leeds United towards the near post. It's flicked directly up in the air, ball bouncing around in the box, headed away only as far as Pascal Struijk, who gets the ball back here to Wilfried Gnonto. Gnonto plays the ball right back across to Jayden Bogle. Leeds probably just going to hold the ball until they can get Ampadu back on the pitch. Here's Dan James in a left-back position at the moment. Now Gnonto out on the left-hand side. Back again to Struijk. And Ampadu is allowed to retake the field. Crossman52 saying, I wonder if they targeted Ampadu because of some of his aggressive tackles in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if Dewsbury Hall's gone in saying, where, Ampadu keeps tackling me, where? And one of them went, I'll get him for you. Like the big babies they are. That's exactly what happened, by the way. That's the live scenes. Because Dewsbury Hall's a big baby. Ira Burnham down the left hand side, down Leeds' right hand side. Bogle and Stack trying to take the ball off him. And eventually it bounces through to Joe Rodon, who can just clear that one. Thanks, Jazz. Is Ndiaye out on the left-hand side now for Everton. Tries to play the ball inside, blocked by Bogle. Now Stack into Dan James, but taken away again here by Everton. Here's Irabunam. Back to Tarkowski, bringing it out to the right-hand side. I've gotten in the know. I've got an ITK, and that's the only bits of information I get is when opposition changing rooms as being babies. That's a specific deal that I've set up, so it's only ever happened once. Yeah, Grealish is getting ready for Everton. Do you know what? I actually don't mind Jack Grealish at all. You know, I've got nothing against him. I think he seems like a genuinely nice lad. Dull as dishwater. Wait, I mean thick, but maybe that's ironic how I got the saying wrong, because dull as dishwater just means you're boring, doesn't it? I mean, in terms of his intelligence, he didn't know what an encyclopedia was. So that tells you a lot, but heart of gold. He's at Ampadu, tries to play the ball into Nonto. Foul there by Tanaka on Alcaraz, and it's going to be a free kick. Yellow card to Tanaka there. Not sure that was a yellow card at all. Alcaraz has just got booked, by the way. So, by the way, if you go up to the referee and ask for a card and say, card, you will get carded yourself. So Alcaraz was just fouled by Tanaka. Tanaka gets himself a yellow card, and Alcaraz also got himself a yellow card because he went up to the ref and asked for a yellow card. So that apparently is one of the newer rules. Looks like it's James Garner over this free kick. Roughly about 18 yards outside the box. Apparently Aronson's getting ready. Strike from distance, deflected wide, and it is going to be an Everton corner kick. Aronson and Ilya Gruev seem to be the substitutions that are getting ready to come on. So, earlier than we thought, and different substitutions to what we thought as well. Corner to come in then from Everton. Good delivery, headed away by Pascal Strauch. Well, here's Idrissa Gueye. Out wide to Dewsbury Hall out on the right-hand side. Peru tries to get a block in. It goes to the edge of the box. Cleared away by Anton Stack. Bogle just trying to push Ndiaye away. But he does really well there to get away from Tanaka. He's very good, Iliman Ndiaye. He's gone past a lot of Leeds players, and eventually Ampadu makes a good tackle. Stack. Bogle switches the play, tries to switch the play to Goodmanson. A little bit of panic creeping in for some of the Leeds players, I will say that. A little bit of panic creeping in. Ball now with Michael Keane. Here's Tarkowski. Alcaraz down that right-hand side. Ball crossed into the box. Lucas Perry catches it with ease. It's what I said at half-time, essentially, Michael, is that they're committing a few more players forward. In the first half, they weren't really willing to commit their fullbacks forward, and now it seems like the fullbacks are been given the freedom to basically go and get up the pitch and try to attack. That's literally the change, is that Garner and O'Brien are now allowed to go forward a little bit more. That's the only thing that he's really done to change it. But it creates those overloads. It creates extra players to have passes to for Everton. So hopefully Leeds can exploit them on the break. But at the moment, Everton are dominating a little bit more because they are willing to commit more players forward. Here's Dewsbury Hall. I hope that answers your question, Michael. Hi, Akira. Welcome to the stream. Remember, guys, if you are sat watching the stream and you haven't subscribed to the channel, we are trying to hit 10K, so your little subscription would go a long way, especially at the moment. Leeds are making some substituciones. Nonto is coming off the field, and Brendan Aronson is coming on. Nonto played well in that first half, but he's definitely gone out of the game in the second half, so Aronson is going to come on. Ilya Gruev is going to come on as well. I'm not sure who he's going to come on for, though. I don't think Ilya Gruev is coming on, you know. No, Ilya Gruev is not coming on at the moment. I think Ilya Gruev was just warming up just in case Ethan Ampadu was injured. 14 subs, by the way, to 10K, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button. In fact, actually... There we go. I've got a button for that. Forgot about that. It's been so long. I mean, it's not been so long. It's just been so long since I've pressed it. Nonto was one of the best players in the first half, Sajal, but as this second half's gone on, he's drifted out of the game a lot. The one thing about Aronson is as well, he will do that defensive dog work. Here's Rodon. Jack Grealish is getting prepared to come on. I imagine he's probably going to come on for Alcaraz out on the right-hand side. Here's Perry. Strauch. Back to Perry. I think Perry's going to go long here. And he does. Dan James looking to try and win that, but it's been taken away. Here's Idrissa Gana Gueye. Ball back to Pickford again here. He's going to have to send it long again. Won back by Ampadu, and now here's Goodmanson. Poked the ball down the line here to Brendan Aronson. Aronson does well there and wins Leeds a free kick. Good first contribution. Here's Strauch. Now Ampadu. Good ball down the line here to Gabriel Goodmanson. He can't quite... Oh, he can. He can poke that back towards Anton Stack here. Leeds weren't aware of that as much as Everton weren't aware of that Goodmanson was going to get there and poke it back. I think Ramazani's going to offer you more in terms of potential goal scoring, but Aronson's going to offer you more defensively. So it just depends on what you're wanting to get out of the game in the final half an hour. Well, 20 minutes now. Football games go so quick, don't they, when it's your team? Here's Dan James. Bogle inside to Piru, who gets a great ball back to Dan James again. Dan James cuts back, fouls there, and the referee has not given anything. Really poor performance from the referee so far. Dan James with a lovely little cut inside. And he was fouled, and it wasn't given to him. Yeah, he's kicked him. He's literally kicked him. I just don't... Yeah. He's just come on. He's just booted him as he cut inside. Jack Grealish is coming on to the pitch for Irogbunum. So that's a more central midfield player that's coming off for Jack Grealish. So Looks like they'll be trying to push a little bit more. Looks like he'll be trying to push a little bit more for a goal here, Moyes. That was a poor decision, wasn't it? Everyone's agreeing in the chat. Really poor decision. I can't see why that wasn't a free kick. Here's Jaden Bogle. Now Ampadu. Back to Rodon. Now Ampadu. He must be Chewy. He's seen the streams. He's seen the videos. Stack with the ball forward into Dan James. He can't quite keep that flick under control. Good chest there by Ampadu. Strauch. Ampadu. Good ball by Strauch into Stack. Can Goodmanson keep it in? No, he can't quite. And Jack Harrison as well. No, Jack Harrison didn't actually. He had it years ago. Then he went short hair for a long time at Everton. And now he's grown it back again. So, I wonder why he grew it back again. Here is James Garner. Now back across to Jordan Pickford. Here is Grealish. Tarkowski. Tarkowski plays that one backwards. Leeds have dropped off a lot, you know. It's almost as if we went for it for the first half, and because we couldn't score a goal, we started to drop off again and be like, right, okay, we've had our go. But really, I would like to see us go for it again. Of course, there's two teams on the pitch, so Everton will be trying to stop us from doing that. But I would like to see a little bit of a change of attacking impetus. I think the way that we played in the first half, dominating a lot of the possession and holding the ball a lot and playing those forward passes, it suits Joel Pirou because of the way that he can drop in and get involved in the midfield play. But if you're going to sit off and have to play longer balls forward, it suits Lucas Mecha. And just as I say that, it cuts to Lucas Mecha getting warmed up to come off the bench. That's what you need. You need somebody like Lucas Mecha who can make do with less. He can make it stick up front when you're trying to play the ball forward. Whereas Joel Pirou is when you're playing with good amounts of possession, Joel Pirou will do a good job for you. Here he is at the moment. Good ball back from Pirou to Joe Rodon. Ampadu pokes that one back to Pascal Strauch. Here's Anton Stack. Good ball to Tanaka. Tries to play it through there to Joel Pirou, but the clearance hits Aronson in the face and goes all the way through to Jordan Pickford. Here is Pickford. Pirou trying to close him down. Jack Harrison is getting ready to come on. Headed away by Rodon. Again, Leeds just not really stringing any passes together at the moment. In the second half, Leeds have had 2 shots. Everton have had 2 shots. 2 touches in on the opponent's box for Leeds, 3 for them, and 51 to 49% possession in favour of them. So even though Leeds were dominant in that first half, and it feels like Everton have become dominant in the second half, it's actually very even in terms of the stats. Obviously, we can see by the eye test, it feels like they've had more of it, but maybe that is just because we dominated so much in the first half. Remember, guys, Subscribe to the channel. I wouldn't usually be pushing this much, but we're just 13 away from 10k. Hopefully the match reaction there can get tonight can get us there as well. This is not our final squad or team either, don't forget. Ball comes into the box. We've also got another striker that's not in the squad. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Aronson trying to battle with him for it. El-Khannouss, good save by Lucas Perry. Do you know what? I think Meslier might let that one in. It's a good save by Lucas Perry at his near post. Aronson, Dewsbury Hall had hold of Aronson's shorts as he pulled away from him. And then El-Khannouss shoots at the near post and Perry makes the save. We are king of the late limbs, that's true, Chaz. Corner comes in. Over the bar there by O'Brien. Way over the bar, but dangerous to let him have a free header like that. Three substitutions for Leeds. Ilya Gruev looks like he is now going to be coming on alongside Metcher and Harrison. So Gruev first. Ampadu is coming off just to make sure that he is okay. And Dan James is also coming off for Jack Harrison. Gruev is number 24. Can somebody tell me what number Lucas Metcher is? Ball back with Lucas Perry now. Now Joe Rodon. Strauk with the ball forward towards Metcher. Metcher can't quite take that down. He's number 14, he is. There we go. That's our lineup. Thanks, everyone. Here's Gruev. Gruev's first time in the Premier League as well. Don't forget. Here's Goodmanson. Now Gruev on the ball. Oh, Gruev's 44, not 24. What am I doing? Not that it really matters, but... Goodmanson with the ball into the box. Aronson trying to keep hold of it. Cleared away by Dewsbury... Well, not cleared away at all by Dewsbury Hall. Here's Aronson. Pokes it towards Tanaka over the bar. Got to keep that down, but it was always rising over the bar there from Ao Tanaka as he took that one on. Oh, hi, Mr. P. Welcome to the chat. How does Harrison get on ahead of Ramazani? Yeah, I don't know whether he's expecting maybe that Harrison can put more accurate crosses into the box for Metcher than Ramazani could, and Ramazani maybe, if Leeds were still dominant, would have been the one to come on. I don't know. It's all I can think. Rodon, Goodmanson, Harrison, Aronson. Here's Tarkovsky. Lays the ball out to the right-hand side for O'Brien. A couple of Leeds players bundle Dewsbury Hall over and eventually Goodmanson gets a foot in. But Idrissa Gana Gueye has won it back there. Alcaraz is still on the pitch. I thought he'd come off, but it was... no, sorry, it was Irogbunen that came off, and Alcaraz has actually come in more as a central midfielder now. Here is Alcaraz again. Drops it off to Tarkowski. Now Dewsbury Hall. Here's Iliman Ndiaye. Oh, goes past a couple of Leeds players. Good tackle, though, by Goodmanson. Clearance isn't very good, though, and Metcher's frustrated as the ball didn't come to him. I'm nervous now. I'm worried. But if Leeds can get a winner, then it'll be unreal. Oh, they have slipped, though. Here's Metcher. Metcher inside the box. Metcher goes to shoot, and it's deflected away, but Leeds pick up the ball with Stack. Another chance here for Jack Harrison. Harrison tries to put the ball across to the edge of the box here for Anton Stack. It doesn't quite drop for him. He goes to shoot again, and deflected wide there by Tarkowski as it was heading towards goal. Leeds are asking for a handball. It's a penalty! Leeds have got a penalty. Tarkowski handballed it as it came through to him. We had a shot from the edge of the box there. Anton Stack. He goes to shoot, and Tarkowski... Yeah, he tries to block it with his... I'm not sure whether it'll be ruled out by VAR. He does lean towards the ball. I've got a feeling it might get ruled out. No, it does hit his arm. I thought maybe it would hit his above the sleeve line, but it hit him around here. I don't think it's going to be... I don't think it's going to be disallowed. Sorry, I don't think it's going to be overturned. I think Chris Kavanagh is listening to them, though. Who takes it? Metcher, probably. Yeah, it hits. It does hit the skin of his arm. It's just whether he makes an unnatural movement towards the ball. They slipped over in midfield and just gave the ball away to Leeds. Yeah, it's been given. Remember, guys, as well. Remember, if a goal goes in, I'm not going to look at the chat, but it's definitely a penalty. It's been given as a penalty. I'm not going to look at the chat for this one, but when a goal goes in at either end in any games this season, don't tell me until I've actually reacted to it. So I'm actually not going to look at the chat at all. We're 11 subs away from 10k, by the way. It is Lucas Metcher to try and get his first ever Premier League goal for Leeds United. Metcher steps up to take the penalty. Scores it! 1-0 to Leeds United. Lucas Metcher gets off to a flying start for Leeds United. Bottom corner. Pickford went the right way, but Metcher puts it in the bottom corner with 5 minutes to go at Elland Road. Lucas Metcher, penalty, 1-0 Leeds. 5 minutes away from our first 3 points of the season on our opening day. And I had Metcher on my bench in my FPL. Nightmare. He goes the right way, Pickford, and he's very close. But it's a very good finish. It had to be right in the corner, otherwise Pickford saves it. I don't even think he needed to block it like that, Tarkowski, as well. I don't think he needed to block it. Pickford with a long ball forward here. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take the fan back here. If I hold it here, it might not be on the mic as much. I just hold it off screen here slightly. Here's Tanaka, fouled in the midfield there, and that's going to be a free kick to Leeds as he lays on top of the ball for a second to try and give Leeds a little bit of a chance to recover there. Tieno Barry, the new signing from Villarreal, is coming on, and Carlos Alcaraz is coming off for them. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Akira. I really, really appreciate the 480 yen. Thank you so much for that. And everybody make sure you go and like the super chat as well. Or like the super sticker, even if you can. Long ball forward there from Leeds, and it's going to go out for an Everton throw-in. God, this makes me so much cooler. His third touch as a Leeds United player. Not a bad start, is it? Leeds putting a bit of pressure on now, you know. Here's Tarkowski. Clears it long as Menecha goes through him. Away by Strauch. Now picked up by Dewsbury Hall, and Stack goes right through the back of him. And it's going to be an Everton free kick. Substitutions worked again. Look, people always complain about Farke's substitutions. They always work. Good tackle by Bogle. It's going to be a foul, though, on Jack Grealish. It's going to be a foul on him, but it's going to be... only way a goal is going to happen, but how do you figure that out when we've had like about 14 or 15 shots in this game? We do need more recruitment to create more goals, but I don't think we've been as bad as we thought we would be in terms of creating chances, especially down that left-hand side with the combination of Nonto and what's his face, Goodmanson. Free kick to come in the box from Dewsbury Hall then. The ball's dropped here, cleared away. The shot for Jack Grealish, header, and it's gone away here. Here's Iliman and Dye out on the right-hand side now. Gruev trying to stop him here. Garner Gay tries to get the ball into the box. Another header comes in, and Perry can just let that one fall on top of the roof of the net. Yeah, the ball gets crossed into the box. They head it, and it bounces up on top of the goal. Yeah, there is Everton pressure, but it's bound to happen. $10 subscribers, by the way. 10 away from 10k. 10 subs equals 10k. Long ball forward here for Lucas Perry. So long ball forward there from Pickford, but it's going to go all the way through to Lucas Perry, who can pick that ball up as Beto comes towards him. Parag Marate looks on rather anxiously. I need to see the pitch now. I don't need to see 30 seconds of Parag Marate going. Here's Anton Stack as he brings the ball forward. Now, Jack Harrison. Oh, Tanaka does just enough to get the ball to Aronson there. And then Aronson's fallen over and lost it. Here comes Dewsbury Hall. Jack Grealish on the halfway line. Forced to turn around there. Aronson may have to commit a foul, but no, he's forced him... Well, he's forced him into a mistake in the end because Beto loses the ball. Here's Tanaka, poked to Anton Stack. Stack with a good ball. Jack Harrison in miles of space down the left-hand side here. If he can get a ball across the box to Mecha. Mecha nearly gets there but cleared away. Now picked up by Tanaka on the edge. Tanaka does well to get the ball back out wide to Jack Harrison. Harrison looks up to potentially cross the ball in the box, but there's nobody in there in a good position for him to cross it to. Here's Harrison. 7 minutes added on, and there wasn't any added on for the first half. Stack with a shot from the edge of the box, and then Bogle with the second one. 7 added minutes, by the way. 7 added minutes. Stack got the ball on the edge of the box there, and powerful strike. Pickford had to push it away in the end. He's never going to be able to catch that. Bogle then with the throw-in. Poor throw-in there from Bogle, and it just bounces through for a goal kick to Everton. Ampidou's treatment time was fairly long, but a minute or so. I think they add on 30 seconds to a minute for every substitution as well. Good winner there by Leeds. Gruev with a good tackle. Here's Tanaka. Oh, the ball to Aronson. Trust tries to cross it in, and Stack puts it over the bar as it got crossed into the near post there. Oh, yeah, very unlucky there. Good ball from Aronson, and Stack just needs to get over the ball. Yes, Lord Sheargarath, I forgot about the penalty and the VAR. It's probably, don't say this quietly, but it's probably about right, 7 minutes. Longstaff getting prepared to come on for Leeds to try and see out the win. Winner by Strauch. Now Harrison flicks that one away down the line towards Metcher. Metcher's going to put Tarkowski under a little bit of pressure, forcing him to go back to Pickford in the end. Long ball forward here. Headed away by Bogle this time. Tanaka wins that one back. Here's Metcher. Good little bit of hold-up plays. He pops the ball back out to Stack as Leeds come forward. Good ball out wide to Harrison out on the left-hand side here. Harrison to Goodmanson. Now Tanaka. Tanaka carrying the ball here. He does really well. That might have been another handball, from Idrissa Gana Gueye as he fell over on it there. Unintentionally. Good block there by Tanaka. Goodmanson tries to keep it in but can't quite. It might be the end of the day for Tanaka anyway, and he looks like he's gone down, holding his leg a little bit here. No, he doesn't quite touch it, Idrissa Gueye, with his hand. Nearly does. Al Tanaka is then coming off, and it'll be for Sean Longstaff. Summer starting from Newcastle. Sean Longstaff with the number 8 shirt comes onto the pitch. There he is. Sean Longstaff, another one of our new signings. 9,996. Just 4 subscribers from 10k, by the way. 4 subscribers from 10k. Here is Tarkowski. Now Michael Keane. James Garner. Keane again. Into Idrissa Gueye. Forced back there by a combination of Metcher and Stack, the 2 Bundesliga signings. Keane tries to play the ball forward. Cleared away by Strauch. As far as James Garner on the halfway line, who plays the ball down the line towards Jack Grealish, the Manchester City loanee. Chips the ball back again to Garner. Dewsbury Hall comes and gives it back again to Grealish. Grealish forced to go backwards once again by Aronson and Bogle. Ball into the box, headed away by Strauch. Stack does really well to sweep things up on the edge of the box there. Giving the ball away though there, Stack. And then eventually Tarkowski puts the ball into touch. Should have been a Leeds throw-in. It was Metcher, Rob, a penalty. Tarkowski handball. Here's Jack Grealish. 9,999 subscribers, by the way. 1 sub till 10k. Here's Bogle, clearing the ball. Dewsbury Hall, who's going to be the 10k subscriber, by the way. 10,000 subscribers. 2 minutes left of this game, and we have hit 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. for all of your continued support. Whoever it was with the 10K, thank you all for contributing towards 10,000 people that are subscribed to this channel, which is ridiculous. Thank you so much to all of you over the years who have supported me, and now we're quitting. No, I'm joking. 10,002. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all of you who have supported me for years and years in these live streams, in the videos and stuff. Some people have been here for years supporting me, so thank you so much, everybody. 10,000 subscribers. We'll get back to the game, and we'll talk a little bit shortly after the game. Oh, someone just unsubscribed, so that's good. 10,001. The long ball forward here from Lucas Perry. Metcher can't get anywhere near that one, so it's headed away. Thanks, Trev. Thanks, White Swan. Thanks, Daz. Thank you, Barry. Thanks, Mr. P, for the £2 super chat. Here's Metcher. Now Longstaff playing the ball down the line here for Aronson. Great ball back to Metcher again, who is fouled in the corner and is going to win Leeds a free kick. Thanks so much, Mr. P, for the £2 super chat. Congratulations on 10k subs. Thank you very much for that, Mr. P. Thanks, Penny, as well. Yeah. Metcher was just going to the corner flag then to hold the ball up, and Michael Keane just came across the back of his legs and just tripped him up. So Metcher, very good experienced bit of play there to draw the foul. Thanks, Lord Sheargarath, so much for the $4.99 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. And on to 20k, like you say. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Here's Metcher. He's going to hold the ball in the corner. It's going to be a Leeds United throw-in. And he's going to wait and let somebody else come and take that throw-in. Metcher trying to hold it up in the corner still. Grealish trying to clear it. It's actually going to be a goal kick to Everton here. We are now 30 seconds after the 7 minutes that's added on. Cleared away there by Pickford, and Leeds United have won their opening game of the Premier League season with a 1-0 win. Fantastic result for Leeds United. Unbelievable to get off to a winning start. 3 points in the Premier League is so valuable, and we have played really, really well in that game. Look, if Everton are probably about average in terms of the teams that we'll be competing with. You're looking at your Brentfords, you're looking at your Burnleys, your Sunderlands, your West Hams, all those sorts of teams. If we can beat Everton at home fairly convincingly in the way that we played, maybe not the goals that we scored, but in the way that we played, then I really believe we'll give it a good go this season at staying up. Thank you, everybody, so much who is... congratulating me. Oh, thank you, Mr. P, as well. I don't even know if I said thank you, Mr. P, for the super chat. If I didn't, thank you so much, Mr. P, for the super chat. For the first victory in the Premier League, Leeds are back, baby. Absolutely. What a way to start. Let's go. Yes, and game. We are 3 points, 1 game, 1 victory, 1 goal for Lucas Metcher. Fantastic result for Leeds United. Thank you, everybody, for congratulating me and congratulating Leeds as well. 37 more points. Last couple of seasons, you've only needed 32 to stay up, but it would be good to get 37. Vital 3 points. No worries, Michael. See you next time. Of course, we will do a live stream on Friday evening as well for transfers. Thank you, Chewy, so much for the £5 super chat. Well done, reaching 10k on a great stream. It was a good stream in the end, wasn't it? Leeds United 1, Everton 0. Thank you so much, Chewy, for the super chat there. I really, really appreciate it. It looks like you are the top fan according to the YouTube thing in terms of 925 XP for you, apparently. Second is Mr. P, 575 XP, and Lord Sheargarath is in third with 500 XP. After that, CB and Justin O'Dell make up the rest of the top 5 in terms of that little leaderboard that YouTube does. It's Trev, 10,000. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Trev. I really, really appreciate that. 10,000 subscribers is something I've been working towards for so long. I never thought I'd get to 10k. So thank you everybody who has supported me along the way. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, thank you as well to all of you who have left super chats this evening, all of you who are Leeds Lately members, all of you who subscribe and watch the videos. And yeah, look, yeah, thank you everybody so much for being part of this journey. And it's on to the next goal. We've got a full Premier League season ahead of us. We've got a load of transfer window stuff next for the next couple of weeks, really, until September 1st. Plenty of videos and business to stick around for. YouTube live stream as well on Thursday. On Friday night for transfer roundup, as we usually do. And then, of course, as well, on Saturday, it's the Arsenal game. There'll be a match reaction coming out at some point this evening after this as well. So thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you to Phil Pickering. Let me just put that on the screen. Thank you to Phil Pickering for the $4.99 super sticker. I really, really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, Phil, for the super sticker on that one. Thank you, everybody, so much. Look, a lot of people are saying 37 more points to go. Genuinely, I don't think you need that many. Hopefully we get that many, but I don't think you actually need that many. But thank you everybody so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to record a match reaction now. So the reaction will be out tonight. Then there's a Demirovic video out tomorrow. Then on Thursday, there is a tactical preview for the Arsenal game, and then the Arsenal game live stream, the transfer live stream on Friday. So much going on the channel at the moment. So thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. Leeds 1, Everton 0 as Farke walks towards the fans as they sing Marching On Together. Absolutely buzzing. Thank you, everybody, so much for getting me to 10,000 subscribers, and I shall see you in the next one. As I awkwardly find this and press it. There we go. Thanks, everyone. Bye.